Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to give you an overview of RStudio and some of the features, and then I'm going to show you how to install the library that we'll use for this class, the custom library that I wrote for this class. So when you open RStudio, it should look like this. Obviously, up in left-hand corner, there's RStudio written, and then on the right here, so you want to make sure that you open RStudio, not R. So if you open R, it'll look different than this. In the upper right-hand corner here, you've got the environment, so that'll list all the variables that you define when you're in your R session. History shows you the commands that you put in previously. This down here is going to show you all the sort of outputs that you'll generate, plots, and help terms, etc. And then the most important part over here is the command line. So you're going to type commands over here, and then you'll see the results displayed on the right half of the screen there. Okay, so to get started in the class, the first thing to do is we have to install the R package. And so if you look on the Canvas site, I give you the commands here. So we go to the console and we type in install packages. So in order to install my package, you need this other package, DevTools. So you need to put in the command install packages and then quote DevTools, enter. So this will take a second. So that took a second to run, and it poops out some stuff here, but you can see that it completed and now it's ready for the next command. So the next one is we have to load that library. So we do library DevTools. Okay, and so then once again it gives me a warning message, but I can ignore that for these purposes. So then the last thing to do, and I'm just going to copy and paste here, is this. This is what will actually install my package in particular. So we go here, paste that in, enter. Okay, so that took a little while, probably a minute or two on my computer to run, and you can see I paused the video while we did it because there's a lot of poop that's generated from that. But we can see that it prints out done, and we get our carrot back, meaning that we've successfully installed the package. And so now we won't ever have to do that again in the class. Now the package has been installed on your computer, but to use it, whenever we start a session, you'll want to put in the command library. And then you notice I put in library, and I start typing Hene, my last name, and it'll pop up, and then you can hit tab to complete it. So RStudio has this nice completion thing. So it's usually 3 letters or so of it, and then the options will pop up, and you can pick which one you want. Okay, so just a couple more things that I'll show you if you're still watching this video. So if you do Control L, then it'll clear the console, so you can get like a fresh screen from it. And then now that I've loaded my library, you can do, let's say, all the data sets that you need for the class that are in the notes and that you'll have for homeworks and whatnot are in this package. So to load them, you just type data and then the name of the data set. So for instance, if we look at the young people survey data, I just do data young people survey, and then I can do view young people survey. So I don't have to put the quotes around it anymore now that it's loaded, and you can see it popped up in my environment tab over here. So if you do view with a capital V, hit enter, then it just kind of brings up a spreadsheet preview of the data. So this is sort of a nice thing that's familiar for, I'm sure, a lot of people in the class still look at these data sets in terms of a spreadsheet. So this will just make the preview. If you want to make that go away, then you can close it. And then the other thing that I'll show you is that if you do question mark young people survey, then down here it'll automatically go to your help tab and bring up a help page. So for all the data sets that I have in class, I've made these help pages that tell you important things about the data set. So it'll tell you the description, sort of where the data comes from and an idea about them, how you load it. So there's the data command we put in over here. And then it'll tell you each one of the columns. So here we can tell there's 1,010 people in the surveys, and they ask them 150 questions. And so then it goes through each one of them, and it tells you what type of variables those are. So there's a lot in this data set. So we'll scroll all the way down. There's many, many different questions in it. You go all the way down here, then this, if you really want to know, these are what the questions were and what the rankings mean for each one of them. It'll tell you the source where I downloaded this from, the references, etc. So it's very useful to pull up the help page for these data sets.